Welcome to this episode of our program Arab Affairs. Today we'll be speaking about a very important file, which is the new rebuilt or repaired relations between Turkey and Egypt, Turkey and the Arab world, particularly the Gulf, and new means of cooperation. The world analysis to such relations speaks about a renewed relationship between Turkey and this part of the Arab world, which is seen as likely to shift the geopolitical dynamics in the region and could really resolve key political and key deadlocked issues. We'll be focusing today on this very important topic. Before we delve into our discussion, let's first have a quick look on the Arab news that took place during this week, and we'll come back for more discussion.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi greeted Egyptians and Islamic nation on Tuesday on the occasion marking the new Hijri year. On his official social media account, President Sisi also prayed Almighty God to make the new Hijri year full of prosperity and prevail peace, security and stability around Egypt. The head of state also exchanged greetings with kings, presidents and princes of Arab and Islamic nations on the holy occasion, wishing their countries all progress, prosperity and unity. Meanwhile, President Sisi delegated Cairo's governor to attend a celebration organized by the Ministry of Endowments on the new Hijri year. Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait met with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken as part of Abul Ghait's visit to Washington. Spokesperson of the Secretary General said that the meeting discussed a number of issues of common concern and ways to improve relations between the League of Arab States and the United States in political, economic and social fields during the next stage. The spokesperson noted that Abul Ghait and Blinken inaugurated the first session of the strategic dialogue between the Arab League and the U.S. State Department, where extensive discussions were held between the delegation of General Secretariat and officials of the U.S. State Department on a number of strategic, political and social issues. The dialogue explored further the level of cooperation to deepen the relationship. Groups of Israeli extremist settlers stormed into Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound under heavily armed Israeli occupation forces protection. They entered from the Magarba Gate and exited from the Silsila Gate, both located on the western wall of the mosque near the Buraq Wall. Meanwhile, settlers set fires at 4 cars in Jerusalem's Abu Ghosh village. It is the second such terror attack in recent months in the village. In the West Bank city of Hebron, a Palestinian youth was seriously wounded by Israeli occupation forces' fire during clashes in the Fawar refugee camp south of the city. 5 other Palestinians were detained, while 10 were suffering after inhaling tear gas. Syria and Iraq on Sunday said they would step up efforts to fight terrorism and reinforce cooperation in several sectors as Damascus recovers its place in the Arab world. Iraq maintained diplomatic ties with its neighbor Syria, and on Sunday, as Syrian President Bashar al-Assad hosted Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani for talks in Damascus. They discussed reinforcing cooperation between the two countries in various sectors, in addition to joint efforts to fight back against terrorism. A statement from Assad's office said both countries are facing several challenges, first and foremost that of terrorism. Syria and Iraq share a 600 kilometers long border, flanked on either side by swaths of desert where terrorists have hideouts from which they carry out frequent attacks. The WFP said in a statement that further reductions in food assistance for refugees in Jordan had become unavoidable as funds was precautionally low. The statement added it was compelled to reduce by 1/3 the monthly cash assistance for all 119,000 Syrian refugees in Zarati and Azraq camps. The UN logs about 650,000 Syrians in Jordan who fled their native country since war broke out there in 2011, but Amman estimates the number at 1.3 million. Head of the National Media Authority, Hussein Zain, congratulated fellow media professionals on the occasion of the anniversary of the first media broadcast in Egypt on July 21st, 1960. On the day the television broadcast was launched to begin with a serious and proposal media message that established the values and principles of the authentic Egyptian society through a generation of pioneers of Egyptian media work who provided distinguished professional media that contributed greatly to the formation of society's culture and the development of citizens' awareness. Zain stressed that the members of the national media are still playing their national role by presenting an honest, professional media message that keeps pace with the requirements of the development of the time, adding that they also provide a media discourse that contributes to the development of awareness in order to achieve a correct awareness and understanding of changes and new challenges that have occurred on the global scene. He also noted that the Egyptian state was able throughout the unprecedented achievements that have been carried out and the gigantic national projects to mitigate the severity of these global crises on the life of the Egyptian citizens.
Welcome back. And Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan started a few days ago a Gulf tour that took him to Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and other stops in Qatar and other countries. Before we continue on with our discussion, let's first have this report and the outcome of this tour, and we'll come back for more discussion.
Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan ended a Gulf trip aimed at securing investments by signing agreements worth more than $50 billion in the United Arab Emirates. UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan met Erdogan at the presidential palace in Abu Dhabi and attended the signing of agreements and memorandums of understanding estimated to be worth $50.7 billion. In March, Turkey and the UAE signed a free trade agreement that aims to increase bilateral commerce to $40 billion annually within 5 years. And last year, the two countries signed a nearly $5 billion currency swap deal to boost Ankara's displacement foreign currency reserves. The diplomatic thaw with the UAE has resulted in increased investment in Turkey. Erdogan and the UAE leader on Wednesday affirmed their commitment to promoting stability both within the region and internationally, stating their shared belief in the importance of dialogue and diplomacy as a means of solving disputes and avoiding conflict. His tour, which also included stops in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, saw Erdogan presides over the signing of deals to boost the ailing Turkish economy. Turkey is battling a currency collapse and soaring inflation that have battled its economy. Ankara has recently repaired relations with Gulf states, including United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, after years of rivalry. Turkish support for organizations linked to the Muslim Brotherhood initially spurred a rupture with the Gulf states, which view the movement as a terrorist group. On Wednesday, the Turkish leader flew to the United Arab Emirates from Qatar, where he met with Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Earlier during his stop to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh signed a major drone procurement contract with the Turkish Defense Force. The amount involved does not disclose.